Good afternoon, friends, and welcome. I'll be sharing live trades and results with you. We'll be evaluating how well these trades work out. We'll be benchmarking this against the S&P 500. I'm expecting to be outperforming it every month. Along the way, I'll also be sharing some lessons I've learned about investments, trading, and building wealth. And of course, the mandatory disclaimer. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It should not be interpreted as advice. And with that, let's get into it. Well, this trade is looking a little bit better. The setup for this is much better. On our last trade, you might remember that we went at the end of this day and took a bit of a loss. We had waited a long time to get in, and our last trade just did not pan out. But we like this kind of a setup a lot better. We went ahead and exited the market on the close of this day. The following day, the market falls just a little bit, really no action there. But the next day, I would call this a pretty big drop in the market. And we really like to see that because, we're exiting at a price here and buying back in at a higher price. So Adam is going to go ahead and make an entry into the market here. You can watch that trade go in live, and trade number 19 is on. All right, the next day, the market fell a little bit. Following day, it went back up. So, again, this is the setup that we really like. We're taking an exit up here, we're buying in at a lower price, and we're going to go ahead and take our profit and get out. So we're going to take an exit on this trade, and trade number 19 is over. Hopefully, we're gaining a little ground back against our benchmark. Let's head over to the tracking sheet and see how we're doing. Completed on 7/26. As you might remember, the market had taken a pretty significant drop. It had dropped to 544.27. The S&P 500 actually took a loss, minus 2.18%, brings its year-to-date total to 14.51. I mentioned I like these trades a lot because when we're out of the market and the S&P has taken this kind of a drop, it's fantastic. So we picked up just below 1%. We had been trailing by something like 5% on our last trade, but we picked up a little bit here, maybe about 3%. But the S&P is running about 14.51, still doing really good this year. We are now tracking at 12.88. So we are still missing our benchmark. This year it's been sort of a cat and mouse game. We were leading the benchmark in the beginning of the year, fell back, made some gains, fell back, and now we're making some gains again. But it looks like we're behind by just under 2%. Key metrics would be a 68% win rate. We want to be close to 70, so our last trade helped us a bit. We jumped up here almost 0.2%. We want to be at about a 1 or higher, preferably around 1.5 on our beat the market factor. And again, that's just comparing how are we doing against the S&P 500. We're actually at this point approximately 90% of the S&P 500 gains is what we're seeing, which is reflected in the 14 versus 12% returns. So year over year, four-year view still looks good. Hopefully we'll continue to make up some ground on our next trade. Come check us out on that next trade. That's it for today. How do you think we're doing? Please comment below and let me know how this compares to other investments you've seen. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only and should not be taken or interpreted as advice. Until next time.